أيها الناس, O people, اسمعوا وعوا, listen and understand. إنه من عاش مات, indeed whoever lives dies. ومن مات فات, and whoever dies perishes away. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hamza Ahmad here. As you guys had asked me to do a walkthrough of this sermon from one of the greatest speakers of Pre-Islamic Arabia, I am here today explaining the bits and meanings of the sermon. Before we start, let's do a small introduction of the orator and the sermon. Well, this sermon has been taken from the book Tariq al-Adab al-Arabi, the history of Arabic literature by Ahmad Hassan al-Zayyat. This is one of the very well-known books in the history of Arabic literature, taught in many schools all around the world. The orator, the speaker, is Quss ibn Sa'ida, and Quss ibn Sa'ida is known to be one of the most eloquent speakers in pre-Islamic Arabia, before Prophet ﷺ came in Mecca. And there used to be festivals where the Arab speakers and orators and poets, they would come and present their works, their khutbahs, their sermons, their poetry and all that, and people would appreciate them of their works. So let's get into this most eloquent khutbah, the sermon of Quss ibn Sa'id, the most eloquent sermon of the most eloquent speaker known by the Arabs of pre-Islamic Arabia. Let's get into it. So, قال من خطبته في سوق عكاز. He said in his sermon in Suq means festival, in festival of Ukaz. أيها الناس, O people, اسمعوا وعوا. اسمعوا means listen. وعوا, وعى يعي. وعى يعي is a verb. This word وعوا is فعل الأمر, the sigha, the scale of command. وعوا means, وعى يعي means to understand or comprehend. To understand or comprehend. اسمعوا وعوا. إنه من عاش مات. Indeed, whoever lives dies. إنه man, indeed whoever. عاش means lives. عاش يعيش is the verb, which means to live. إنه من عاش مات dies, مات يموت. ومن مات فات, and whoever dies فات. فات means فات يفوت means to perish, to be slipped away. ومن مات فات, and whoever dies perishes, to perish in this context. وكل ما هو آت آت. وكل ما هو, and whatever is meant to آت come. وكل ما هو آت, and whatever is meant to come, آت shall come. At, this scale is from أتى يأتي اسم الفاعل. أتى يأتي means to come. وكل ما هو آت آت, and whatever is meant to come shall come or shall occur. ليل داج. ليل means night. داج means dark. Daj comes from the verb daja yadju, which means to be dark. Daj means dark. So, laylun daj, night is dark. وَنَهَارٌ saj. Naharun means day. Saj comes from the verb saja yasju. Saj is also ism fa'il. Saj means quiet and calm. Let me just write it down very small. وَنَهَارٌ saj, and day is calm. وَسَمَاءٌ ذَاتُ أَبْرَاجٍ. وَسَمَاءٌ, sama means sky. ذَاتُ أَبْرَاجٍ. وَسَمَاءٌ ذَاتُ أَبْرَاجٍ, and sky is having constellations. Like abaraj is the plural of burj. Burj means majma'un min al-nujum, a place where a lot of stars gather. We call them constellation. So وَسَمَاءٌ ذَاتُ أَبْرَاجٍ, and sky has constellations. Abraj means majma'un min al-nujum. Let me write the meaning. Pardon me of the space, it's very less space. وسماء ذات أبراج ونجوم تزهر. Nujum is the plural of najm, tazhar, and stars shine. Nujumun, and stars. Tazhar, zahara, yazharu, means to shine, to glow, to give light. وَنُجُومٌ تَزْهَرُ, and stars shine. Let me just write the meaning. To shine. وَبِحَارٌ تَزْخَرُ, and oceans. Bihar is the plural of bahr, and oceans. Tazkhar, tazkhar means to rise, to be overflowed, to be brimful. وَبِحَارٌ تَزْخَرُ, and oceans rise, like the waves in the oceans rise. Tazkhar means to rise. وَجِبَالٌ مُرْسَاتٍ, and mountains, وَجِبَالٌ مُرْسَاتٍ, and mountains are fixated. وَجِبَالٌ, and mountains. Mursat, mursat comes from the verb arsa yursi. Arsa yursi means to make something firm, to fixate something. Mursatun means fixated. Fixated. وَأَرْضٌ مُدْحَاتٍ, وَأَرْضٌ مُدْحَاتٍ. Ardun, earth. Mudhat, land. Mudhat comes from the verb adha yudhi. Adha yudhi means to spread out, to flatten. وَأَرْضٌ مُدْحَاتٍ, and land is flattened. Flattened. It has been spread out by someone. وَأَنْهَارٌ مُجْرَاتٍ. Mujrat comes from the verb ajra yujri. Ajra yujri means to make something flow. Mujrat has been flowed, like has been made, put into flow by someone. Put into flow. I hope you understand this small writing. Pardon me of my handwriting. I'm not very used to writing by the Apple Pencil, but inshallah by the time it will get better. وَأَنْهَارٌ مُجْرَاتٍ. You must be wondering, what is this? What is he speaking about? So it is said that Quss ibn Sa'ida was muwahhid. He used to not worship idols. So he is actually paving the way of some advice that he is going to give after this. So he's saying, O people, listen and understand. Indeed, whoever lives dies, and whoever dies perishes away. And whatever is meant to come shall occur. Laylun daj, night is dark. وَنَهَارٌ سَاجٍ, day is calm. وَسَمَاءٌ ذَاتُ أَبْرَاجٍ, and sky has constellations. وَنُجُومٌ تَزْهَرُ, and stars shine. وَبِحَارٌ تَزْخَرُ, and oceans rise. وَجِبَالٌ مُرْسَاتٍ, and mountains have been fixated by someone. وَأَرْضٌ مُدْحَاتٍ, and land has been flattened by someone. وَأَنْهَارٌ مُجْرَاتٍ, and streams have been put into flow. So he is actually paving the way, because people in those times used to worship idols. They did not used to believe in one God. So he is actually calling them, he is advising them through his sermon that there is someone who has done all these things, not your idols. Now let's move on. Inna fis samai la khabara. Very easy. Inna fis samai, indeed in the sky is la khabara. Khabar means information, some message. Indeed in the sky is a message. Wa inna fil ardi la ibara. Ibar is the plural of ibratun, and ibratun means example or warning or advice. وَإِنَّ فِي الْأَرْضِ الْعِبْرَةِ, and indeed in the earth there are examples, there are warnings, there are advices that call you to something. Examples. Now, مَا بَالُ النَّاسِ, this is a very beautiful phrase. مَا بَالُ النَّاسِ مَا بَالُ النَّاسِ يَذْهَبُونَ وَلَا يَرْجِعُونَ. Now, مَا بَالُ means what's wrong. What's wrong? Let me write it here. What's wrong? ما بال الناس, what's wrong with the people, يذهبون, they go, ولا يرجعون, and do not return. Again, he's shaking their minds, he's shaking their thoughts. أرضوا فأقاموا. رضوا comes from the verb رضي يرضى. رضي يرضى means to be satisfied or content. To be satisfied. To be satisfied. أرضوا, have they become satisfied? فأقاموا, so they, أقاموا comes from the verb أقام يقيم, which means, let me write it here, to stay. To stay or to remain somewhere. أرضوا فأقاموا, have they become satisfied, so they stayed there. أم تركوا فناموا. تركوا is فعل مجهول. أم تركوا, or they have been left. فناموا, so they slept. Left like they have been left, put into graves. فناموا, so they slept. يا معشر إياد, O people of Iyad. Iyad is his tribe. He's calling the people of his tribe. Ya ma'ashara. This is a very common way of calling someone in classical Arabic. Ya ma'ashara. Ya ma'ashara Iyad. O people of Iyad. Ya ma'ashara al-Muslimin. O Muslims. O people of Islam. Ya ma'ashara al-Islam. Ya ma'ashara al-Tullab. O students. Like ya ma'ashar, sometimes it's not literally translated, but it's used in classical Arabic. Now, أين الآباء والأجداد. آباء is the plural of أب. أب means father, and أجداد is the plural of جد. جد means grandfather. أين الآباء والأجداد, where are the fathers and forefathers. وأين, and where are الفراعنة الشداد. فراعنة is the plural of فرعون. Fir'aun, which means Pharaoh. Shidad is the plural of Shadid. Shadid means strong in this context or powerful. وَأَيْنَ الْفَرَاعِنَةُ الشِّدَادِ, and where are the great pharaohs? Where are the strong and powerful pharaohs? أَلَمْ يَكُونُوا, were they not? أكثر منكم. ألم يكونوا أكثر منكم, were they not more than you? أكثر منكم, more than you, greater than you. ألم يكونوا أكثر منكم مالا, were they not more than you in wealth? وأطول آجالا, and longer in ages. آجال is the plural of أجل, and أجل means appointed time. Appointed time, it is used for death as well. Like they were longer, they were given more time, longer ages till their appointed time, till their death. وَأَطْوَلَ آجَالًا, were they not more than you in wealth and longer than you in ages? طَحَنَهُمُ الدَّهْرُ. Now, طَحَنَ يَطْحَنُ. طَحَنَ يَطْحَنُ is a verb which means to grind or to crush. To crush. طَحَنَهُمُ الدَّهْرُ بِكَلْكَلِهِ. Dahr means fate in this context. كَلْكَلِهِ. كَلْكَلِهِ means a chest or thorax. Chest. This is actually a metaphor. طَحَنَهُمُ الدَّهْرُ بِكَلْكَلِهِ. Now, hum goes back to al-fara'inatu shidad, al-aba al-ajdad, all the people that he has mentioned. The fathers, the forefathers, the great pharaohs. طحنهم الدهر, the fate crushed them. The fate crushed them. بكلكله, with its chest. He's talking about the troubles, the tribulations, the things that have been written into the destiny that happens with every person. So he's saying طحنهم الدهر بكلكله, the fate crushed them, grinded them with its chest, as if they were standing there and the fate came running and hit them hard with its chest and crushed them. It's a metaphor. Inshallah, when at some point we study al-balagha, the rhetorics, we will talk about these things. وَمَزَّقَهُمْ مَزَّقَهُمْ مَزَّقَ يُمَزِّقُ means to tear into pieces. To tear into pieces. وَمَزَّقَهُمْ بِتَطَاوُلِهِ. Now, تطاول, تطاول يتطاول, used with the preposition ala, means to attack. To attack or to encroach upon someone. وَمَزَّقَهُمْ, and tore them into pieces, بِتَطَاوُلِهِ, with its attack, like he's still talking about dahr, the fate. طَحَنَهُمُ الدَّهْرُ بِكَلْكَلِهِ, the fate crushed them with its chest, with its thorax. وَمَزَّقَهُمْ, and tore them into pieces, بِتَطَاوُلِهِ, with its attack. Now, he's actually giving advice to the people who worship idols that there is something that has happened to your fathers and forefathers, and the same is going to happen to you. So do not worship idols. So even though it is said that he died, it is mentioned in the books of history that he died before Islam, but he was one of the very few people who were not mushrik, who were not pagans in the pre-Islamic Arabia before Prophet ﷺ. Let's read one last time with straight translation. أيها الناس. Let's start from the beginning. قال من خطبته, he said from his sermon في سوق عكاظ, in festival of Ukaz. أيها الناس, O people, اسمعوا وعوا, listen and understand. إنه من عاش مات, indeed whoever lives dies. ومن مات فات, and whoever dies perishes away. وكل ما هو آت آت, and whatever is meant to come, shall occur. ليل داج, night is dark. ونهار ساج, and day is calm. وسماء ذات أبراج, and sky has constellations. ونجوم تزهر, and stars shine. وبحار تزخر, and oceans rise. وجبال مرسات, and mountains are fixated. وأرض مدحات, and land is flattened. وأنهار مجرات, and streams are put into flow. إن في السماء لخبرا, indeed in the sky there is message. وإن في الأرض لعبرا, and indeed in the land, in the earth, there are examples. ما بال الناس يذهبون ولا يرجعون, what is wrong with the people? They go and do not return. أرضوا فأقاموا, have they become satisfied? So they stayed there. أم تركوا فناموا, or they have been left. فناموا, so they slept. يا معشر إياد, O people of Iyad, أين الآباء والأجداد, where are the fathers and the forefathers? وأين الفراعنة الشداد, and where are the great strong pharaohs? ألم يكونوا أكثر منكم مالا, were they not more than you in wealth? وأطول آجالا, and longer in ages. طحنهم الدهر بكلكله, fate crushed them with its chest. ومزقهم بتطاوله, and tore them into pieces with its attack. This is beautiful. There is a lot of eloquence in it. There are a lot of metaphors. and tashbihat and isti'arat. This khutbah and this lesson is actually for those learners who are, I forgot to mention it in the beginning, who are at intermediate or advanced level. Those who are at intermediate level should understand this, most of this, and those who are at advanced level must understand this. Beginners can also benefit from this as well. Well, if you like the way we have done a walkthrough of this sermon, do let me know in comments. Inshallah, we will do much more such lessons. Inshallah, the breaking down of the texture, the nas, and then we will do some word meanings, and we will do some tarkeebs, the grammatical analysis, and so on and so forth. Do let me know in comment section, inshallah ta'ala. And if you have any questions, ask them in comments. Jazakumullahu khairan. See you in the next one. Ila liqa.